Uploading a book to KDP looks simple, but one wrong choice can lock your pricing, hurt your visibility, or mess up your launch. In this video, I'll walk you through KDP step by step and point out the decisions you don't want to get wrong the first time. I'll flag when we get to them, but you need to know they're not reversible and you have to make the right choice from the start. Go to the KDP site, you're going to join. Once you do that, then you're going to click on New Title. So here you can add an ebook, paperback, hardcover, and a series page. Best practice is start with the ebook. And now we get to the heart of it. There's going to be a series of 3 steps. You're going to have to save as you go. You can go back and re-edit, so don't worry. So some of the best practice, of course, this is actually going to be very public facing, so you need the exact title of your book on the cover. Keep in mind, once you have this set and published, you will not be able to alter your book title or the edition. Now we go to series. So here, you don't have to stress necessarily if you're not sure your book is going to be a series. You can add it now or add it later. Now this description is critical. This is about 4,000 characters, but it's really the first 2 lines that are going to be your most important. So when they click read more, it drops down. But if you don't have a great cover, you don't have a great title, and you don't have a first good couple of lines, they're not going to do that, and they're not going to purchase your book. So remember the order of what you do for your description. This is marketing sales copy. This is going live. This is going to attract readers to your book. And the most important part of the description is the start. First, publishing rights. If you own the copyright, definitely add this in. But if you're using fan fiction or so on, and it's a public domain work, or using open source work and it's not yours, obviously you're going to have to indicate that. Now, the primary audience, this is going to help Amazon get your books to the right readers. So if you do have that sexual content, you do need to disclose it because, of course, this shouldn't be shown to certain age groups and so on. And it also helps them get to the right audience. And the primary marketplace. So where is going to be your set marketplace? Now, I happen to pick Amazon.com in the US because that's my primary market. You can decide what your primary market will be, but Amazon.com is a good option. And categories. So these are the categories you see on the Amazon site. Let's just do that. Let's just pick mystery thriller. And then you can do some subcategories like crime fiction. And you can go even a little bit further and let's say serial killers and save category. But don't worry if your book applies to many subcategories. What you can do is afterwards, you go to the contact page on KDP and request your book to be added to additional ones. So that's a good insider tip you may not know. So keywords, this is critical. You don't want to put single words. You don't want to waste it. If it's a mystery thriller, you just put mystery thriller as one word. You want to put the most common keyword typing that people would do. And actually more is better here. So you don't want to do mystery. What you'd like to do is small town murder mysteries and so on. So then please do. And here's some examples of phrasing that you might put. This is one of the decisions I warned you about earlier that you need to pay attention to. More to come as well. And the pre-order one is critical. Are you ready to release your book now? Because if you do, it's going to go live within 72 hours. But remember, you can't bank on that 72 hours because it could go live within a couple hours. It could be the second day or third day. And if you're hoping to launch tomorrow, you're going to be in trouble because you don't know. But again, if you're hoping to launch in 3 days, just expect it may launch earlier, but that's okay. At least it's live if it's tied to your marketing. And I highly stress, if you are making this book available for pre-order, make sure you have your manuscript polished and done. Because yes, you can change your manuscript later. You can upload it later with corrections. Make sure that if you know you're going to have a pre-order, your book is ready and that your marketing plan is ready to publish when you say it will, because I wouldn't cancel it if I were you. Kindle ebook details are all about the metadata. Now we're going to do the ebook content. So here you're actually going to upload your manuscript, and fortunately it's going to allow for different options. You can use the Microsoft Word, and I have a tutorial for that. You can upload it as a KPF using Kindle Create, and I'll create a tutorial for that soon. Or you can add an EPUB. You can upload your cover. And they typically want a JPEG or a TIFF only. And I wouldn't actually use their cover creator. I would actually design my own because, for example, here's their options of my book. I don't really like any of those. I don't think they're that good. If you don't have access to a graphic designer, you don't have graphic design skills, then yes, please do. That's your option. So here I uploaded my manuscript as an example. I added my cover myself. You also see a DRM option that stands for Digital Rights Management. It's meant to prevent copying or sharing of your ebook. Now, in practice, it doesn't stop piracy, but it can make things harder for legitimate readers. Actually, most indie authors leave DRM turned off, but this is a personal choice. Just understand what it does before you decide. And then, of course, AI-generated content. So did you use any tools for the text, image, translation, or even to help you prepare your book? And ideally, this is a no, but if it's yes, you're going to have to disclose it. Kindle eBook preview. This is actually critical. You want to be able to catch any mistakes in your book, because if you find readers are catching mistakes, they're not going to buy it, or worse, they're going to return it. This is how my book would look, my ebook would look with the cover, and so on. And I would go through to make sure that every page is correct. You might feel it's onerous, but again, if the reader's reading and they spot a mistake, that's crucial, and you cannot have any mistakes, or ideally minimize mistakes, so that you have the best book possible. And of course, you can upload a new copy later, but again, it's your big launch. You want to have the best foot forward and have the best book available from day one. The Kindle KDP site will check your book for spelling or image issues, and it will flag certain things to you. And if you have any, yes, correct that. If not, you're good. You're going to have either do your own ISBN number. Also, Amazon will assign its own ASIN to each of your books. Kindle Select allows you to run certain promotional deals, allow you to sell your book for free, to change discount price and so on within 90 days, but you're making your book very exclusive to Amazon, and that's a critical point. Now, if you haven't decided to go wide yet, you don't have a really extensive marketing plan, sticking to Amazon is probably the right choice, because they roughly represent, at least for me and many others, about 80% of the market. So yes, you're going to lose that 20% if you don't go with Apple, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Google Play Center, and others. It's up to you. If you have one book, you're really launching, it's kind of overwhelming. Focusing on getting to know the Amazon system first does make sense. Can cancel, and it'll take you to the end of the 90 days, and then you can go wide to the other sites. Remember, if you're going exclusive to Amazon, stay exclusive. The last thing you want to do is being kicked out. Now, you can define which individual countries you want your book to be sold in. Now, typically, you can do worldwide rights. That might be a really good decision. Amazon Marketplace, you already figured that out earlier. And this is critical too, especially whether you want to go 35% or 70% royalties. And you can differentiate between the different countries too, if needed. So how does the pricing work? So what you can go to here is the ebook list price requirements. So there's a minimum and maximum to whether it be at 35% or 70%. And then you need to figure this out for you, what's best. And of course, there's certain countries where you won't be able to change the pricing. Those are fixed. And then once you have set your pricing, it'll do automatic adjustments to the rest and what royalty you're going to take. Then you simply publish your Kindle ebook. You click this bottom right here, and then it launches. Congratulations, your book will either be on pre-order or up for sale today. Hopefully this video will help you. I have other videos to help explain pricing and marketing plans and budgets and so on. Feel free to look at those. But at least now you have the confidence to make the right decision, to add the right information in the right fields, that you can launch your book with confidence. If you happen to like these videos, click like and subscribe. Happy writing.